Take me back to Janky Town. I want to get back to Janky Town.
Why haven't we gone back to the moon? That's what I'm wondering.
Costs a lot of money.
But how much?
Probably billions, probably hundreds of billions, I would guess.
Didn't they just say what do we have, a $6 trillion?
Oh yeah, we could do it.
Yeah. It'd make great television. That's the weird thing for me, is no one sees the incentive to do it. But it's like, are you kidding me? Like, you know how they have these big Planet Earth documentaries that they shoot over 10 years, all these like amazing footage, slow motion. They get some great narrator. It's like, you know, that series, The Cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they found the money to make that. Like, I don't understand why we're not making a mission to the moon and make a long form documentary out of it and premiere it on Netflix, like a year-long series, you know, like do from everything from soup to nuts.
Yeah.
Like from designing the spaceship to actually going there to landing to setting up their little colony that they're going to stay in for a week. I mean, there's so much content there.
You would think.
Do you think do Bezos and Musk have the ability to go to the moon?
I don't know if they have
technological
enough
ability.
At this point, I don't know that they have the technology to do it. Because, I mean...
That's kind of funny considering we did it in 1969.
Yeah.
And private citizens don't have the technology. That in and of itself is kind of a...
I think they'd probably have the know-how, especially borrowing from previous technologies and engineering and documentation that went along with it. But then you'd have to say, why would they do it? Because, I mean, it would probably cost, at the minimum, tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Which, and, you know, if say Jeff Bezos wanted to take all his fortune or even half of it and do that, then he would probably have to sell enough stock he might lose control of Amazon. I don't think he wants to do that.
You'd have to crunch those numbers. I mean, he's spending, what, $1 billion a year on his little project anyways?
Yeah. Well, he's probably making $5 to $10 billion a year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Plus, I bet you could get half of that money in grants, pledges, sponsors, etc.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a lot of money.
I don't see why Elon doesn't build a little lunar rover, Tesla lunar rover. I know he doesn't spend money on advertising, but
right now he's building rockets.
He's got
lots of rockets, and then space capsule. He's working his way up there.
He's got a couple irons in the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I think the incentive is like, like maybe we're not going to collect moon rocks, but I feel like it'd make the greatest television show ever. Because if you could shoot all that stuff in, you know, high definition and everything, unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. People got kind of bored with the moon landings after a while.
Right, but in 1969,
right.
I mean, the quality of the content that you could produce nowadays. Oh, just an idea.
You know, I think there's a good chance that if we don't, you know, basically kill ourselves in the next 50 years, we'll go back to the moon or Mars sometime.
So you think it's a 50-year time? You think it's just the issues on Earth are more urgent?
Well, if you're going to devote that much of resources to doing something like that, which is not strictly necessary, certainly not in the short term, you have to have some surplus to do it with. Now, if you're worrying about whether
did they have a surplus in 69? Do we have a
as a human civilization, yeah, we had enough extra money we could afford to spend some of it going to the moon.
So there wasn't a federal deficit at that point?
Probably was, but
this is one thing this is popping up recently too, where everyone says, like, universal healthcare, where are we going to find the money? Like, it's a ridiculous question, because one, we don't have the money anyways, and two, we always have the money.
And three, we're already spending that much money on it. We're already spending it.
Right.
It's not like we're not spending. Not like we're going from 0 to 100.
Right.
We're going from 100 in one currency to 100 in a different currency.
But I think this is what a lot of people have a problem with, is trying to make that mental leap.
People have a lot of trouble with a lot of mental stuff. I mean, it's just who human beings are.
Yeah.